Hello there, welcome back. Layered bamboo bodies. That is what this tutorial is about. These are what it looks like. That's a yellow satin, and the one we'll be working on today is right there. It's done in raw silk. That's the pattern, what it looked like before we cut it into the fabric. I remain Oluwafolakemi, your tutor on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get a notification the moment we drop a new video. That's what you require to get this done. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting with our bodice block, we'll draw our lines. Because it's layered, because it's curvy, the lines are supposed to be curvy. As such is the reason for it being layered. Assuming a straight line, it will just be the regular bamboo bodies. There's a video like that on the channel. So draw up your lines with your French curve or whatever type of curve you have around you. Try to make the space as even as possible. Although I need you to notice that the first one ended at the base and it went to the peak of one of the dots, while the next one after it started from somewhere in the middle of the previous line and went to the peak of the other dot. Every other one went to the line. That done, you label the parts, not the lines, the parts. So labeling done, cut through line 1 and slide the dot. Once this dot is slided, tape it in place. As such, you're moving the dot from its original position to within the pattern we are creating. That's done. Go on to the second one and do the same. Now we cut every other line. I started cutting before I realized I would prefer to cut it on the fabric. So after this one, I just placed my fabric there and cut out the rest of the lines. Then I lay it all on the fabric. You lay it in such a way that you have 1 centimeter allowance along every part where the lines were marked, because you need 1 centimeter allowance both up and below each of the lines. There are 2 ways to go about layering these, going about this particular pattern. First one was done in a spiral sleeve earlier on. I think I'll drop the link in the description section so you can be able to get through to it. So either you cut it into pieces or cut it to the edge, then just open it up and lay it on your fabric. But in this situation, I cut it all up into pieces. As such, if you want to use different fabric, you can equally use it. So I marked my 1 centimeter allowance all around. I decided, so you see, reason why I did not use my French curve. There's a bit of angle along the line where the next line ended. As such, the French curve will not give me a perfect curve that would match the marking on the pattern. So as such, I would use my ruler because it has a 1 centimeter guide to draw out the remainder of the lines. Because you might be wondering, I have a French curve there, why am I not using it? Why am I using the ruler? There are some bits of angles along the patterns that the French curve will not be able to help me derive easily. As such, let me use the ruler that has a 1 centimeter guide. So once you cut all that up, another thing, you can decide to lay both the main fabric and the lining together, and you can decide to do them separately. because we have to face each of those patterns except for the last one. In this situation, 11. Every other one we have to cut in twos, the main fabric and the facing or lining, whichever one you decide to use. Although I would advise you to use similar color to the fabric you're using. If you'll be using a white fabric, your facing or lining should be white, and if you'll be using black, sort of, I hope you get it. So let's continue. So now I cut the lining and the facing. I'm detaching the facing. As such, I'm pinning just the pattern and the fabric together, then bringing the facing to the face of the pattern. I pin it in place, then I go sew my 1 centimeter allowance there. To be sure I did not miss anything, any part of the puzzle out. That's what I'm arranging. Let's be sure everything is still in place. Yes, they are. So now let's go back to the one we want to sew. All sewn together with notch, because we've sewn around the curve, and if we don't notch, the fold will not be easy to derive. So flip it over. For the others, I'll be top stitching, but for this one, just for you to see how it goes. We're done flipping. By the time I'm done with the rest, I would take it to the press and get it all pressed together. Now let's take another piece that has a different look from the one we did. So just bring the lining or facing to the top, then sew, notch, top stitch, and go to the next. That process is the same for everything except for the last one, which is 11 in this situation, that is not being faced, because the way we layer the whole thing, the current would be sitting on the preceding one, more like 11 is the last one, 10 will sit on it, then 9 will sit on both 11 and 10, then the next one up like that till we get to 1. For 1, 2, 3, 4, because we did not split those parts into pieces like the others, I decided to cut through the facing. That was what I was doing there. So now let's fix them all up together, starting from 11 and 10. Place them together the way they're supposed to be. Then open up the pattern and the fabric, the main fabric, so you can be able to access the facing. Pin the facing to 11, the way it's supposed to sit. Look at it. Is it sitting well? If it's sitting well, take it to your sewing machine and stitch it in place. That's done. Now we pick the next one, which is 9. The same process. Put it where it's supposed to be, pin it in place, check it. Is it fine? If it's fine, to the next. If it's not fine, go back to it, fix it. So we'll hasten it up till we get to 4, because 4 is a little different. Okay, you can see all looking tidy and neat. Now to 4. That's the part where we transferred the dart from the original position to within the style lines we've created. So let's remove the patterns that we're done with so that we don't accidentally poke ourselves with the pins that are all around the place. So the ones we are done with, from 11 till 5. You can take them out. You might notice that I used paper tape. If you have paper weight, you can use that also. Not necessarily paper tape all the way. Although for sticking the pattern, the dart leg, you need either paper tape or scotch tape. But holding it in place, of course, you can use paper weight or whatever kind of weight, and you can even use pins. Whichever one you decide to do is perfect. So, pins taken out of the way. Now let's fix 4. Pull it in place. No, actually 2. Sorry, I've been saying 4. 2. Pin it in place. Also, take note, every line you sew, every stitch line you run, check to be sure there are no raw edges peeping out through the points where you sewed. Because it won't be nice to finish the whole project and realize something that is not supposed to peep is actually peeping. So 2 done, now to 1. You can also put a little marking on the peak of the dart so you see where you're actually supposed to take your stitching to. So that's it, all done. That's the pattern sitting right beside it, and that's the finished version. Peradventure there are questions to this, please drop them in the comment section below. I would answer them all in the shortest possible time. For whatever suggestions you have, drop them there also. I love to read from you. Till our next video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you for your time. Till our next video, bye bye.